Post on Church Point Road in Gonzales would like to invite everyone to their newly renovated events hall, a beautiful 9,600 square foot facility that features a 5,500 square foot main hall and a separate 600 square foot conference room. Renters have access to our huge kitchen, large stage, tables, chairs, bar, and covered outdoor cooking. So plan your next wedding, party, conference, and more at The Post on Church Point Road in Gonzales.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
You could be driving.
Happy Honda Days are back for the most wonderful time of the year at Team Honda. The savings are high on every new Honda. And with our Buy Here, Sell Here program, you'll get top value for your trade. Happy Honda Days from Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your world. Since the last opportunity we had to spend some time with you a week or so ago, we start today's show talking about yet another senseless, selfless, horrific, borderline insane murder of another child in a drive-by shooting in Baton Rouge. It has gotten to the point now where the murder of children in our streets is no longer an event that, quote, shocks the conscious. On Friday, near LSU, a vehicle traveling down River Road near Gurrier Avenue has another vehicle pull up alongside it, and I got to be careful because it is a family show. Some individual saw fit to open fire on this vehicle without knowing, not that it matters, how many individuals were inside the car. 22-year-old Michael Riley and his darling 5-year-old nephew, Carson Riley, both killed. As horrific as it is to lose a 5-year-old to homicide in a drive-by, I don't know how to say it, but on one hand, as horrific as that was, I guess in reaching desperately for some silver lining in all of this, it could have been a whole lot worse. This individual that cares so little for life opened fire on the car that Michael Riley and Carson Riley, the 5-year-old, were both riding in. But also in the car was a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. Gesundheit. 4 children under the age of 7 years old. Baton Rouge Police holding yet another news conference in the wake of the slaughter of children in the capital city, literally begging, if you know anything about this, please call us so that we can bring the perpetrator to justice. Maybe it's a part of the human experience. We respond more readily to the murder of a baby than we do an adult. In this case, there were both an uncle and his nephew. If you know anything at all about this crime, and it takes the chief of the BRPD to get on television and beg for your help, again, it's a family show. I can't tell you what I think about you. Not that it matters to you what I think or what anybody else thinks. But at the end of the day, if you know something and they have to beg you to say something about it, you're the problem. You know, not long ago in Baton Rouge, we had the opportunity to vote on funding for a new parish prison. And we voted it down. Now listen, I understand, y'all. I get it. Times are tight, especially since this new administration has taken over in Washington. I understand. Many of you feel you are taxed enough already. But at the end of the day, y'all, we have reached a point in our society where we don't have the luxury of not having enough space to house people that will do something like this. It's a 5-year-old, for God's sake. And what it is going to take for the community in which I live, the community of which I am a part of, the African American community, what it is going to take for us, I don't know, to stand up and say we've had enough of this crap. You know, I was watching the news this weekend, and there's this attorney, the race baiter that he is, Crump, in town holding a press conference about this child that was allegedly allowed to fall through the cracks with DCFS and ended up being prostituted. And of course, the head of the local chapter of the NAACP is standing there and chiming in. And I'm saying to myself, these two individuals at a press conference, as horrific as that situation was, the trafficking of minors, how much more effort would it have taken at the end of the press conference for the two of them to say, Excuse us, media, before we adjourn for the day, we'd like to address something. Our young brothers need to stop killing each other. We are now not just killing other young brothers, we're killing babies. How much effort would it have taken for them to take just a couple sentences? But you see, this is what the left wants out of us. They will have you running around here looking for the white supremacist boogeyman under the mattress, around the corner, in the back of the cupboard, in the back seat of your car, in the trunk of keepsakes up in the attic. Because after all, as they've told us, white supremacy is the greatest threat to America. With the, of course, inference, if it's white supremacists, then black folks are the target. I mean, you know, the left will tell you 1 + 1 no longer equals 2, but you know better. I'm not going to insult your intelligence the way the left does. So at what point does the quote unquote leadership in the black community step up? You know, I had been beating this drum for so long that if it were not for the fortitude instilled in me by my late father, I would have just said, you know what? To hell with this. I don't need this crap. I'm trying to help people who apparently don't want to help themselves. I'm trying to help my people. And I've been demonized for it. I've been castigated. I've been called every name in the book. Sell out, Uncle Tom, go down the list. But at the end of the day, y'all, until black folk in this city, this state, and this nation stand up and own up, it's only going to get worse. I am deathly afraid at the rate we're going right now, this is not going to be the last time, y'all. In a country like ours, people should have the right, and more important, should expect the right to live in a community that's peaceful. And I'm not a betting man, y'all know that. But I'll take odds on this one. When they find it almost slipped out. When they find this piece of scum that murdered this 5-year-old, I'll bet you $10 to a donut it ain't a white supremacist. I'm just saying. Just saying. Our sincerest, deepest, heartfelt condolences to the Riley family on the senseless, selfish murder of 22-year-old Michael Riley and his darling 5-year-old nephew, Carson Riley. They deserve better, and we do too. At some point, we got to demand it. First break of today's show. We'll get it out of the way. We'll come back and talk more with you. Oh, and of course, segment 2, get ready in the truck, another edition of, what's that? What? That's segment 2. That's just stupid. That's next when we continue the Clarence Bug Show only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent.
Depend on us for service, for selection, for price.
Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. New to the show, new to the station, new to the area. You're probably not aware that in the wake of the ever-growing, rapidly expanding, pretty much always accelerating level of stupidity in this country and this world, we have instituted a new segment entitled, "Now That's Just Stupid." You'll notice, however, a different spelling, not traditional S-T-U-P-I-D. That would just be regular stupid. What we're talking about here is a conscious effort, apparently, to go above and beyond stupid, hence the new spelling, S-T-O-O-P-I-D, as in, now that's just stupid. Surprisingly, no, not really. We start in the granola state, California. Clarence, why I hear you call it the granola state? Well, that's because if you take out the fruits and the flakes, there's nothing left but the nuts. For example, some of the largest school districts in the state of California, that includes the Los Angeles Unified School District, the Oakland, California Unified School District, Sacramento, San Diego, and other unified school districts, announcing late last week a plan to re-engage students in the wake of COVID-19 and remote learning. When you hear re-engage, most people would probably go, Huh, okay. All right, that's a good idea. Let's see what you got. These idiots have come up with a plan where, in order to re-engage students, we are going to do away with the letter grades D and F. You can only earn an A, a B, or a C. No more D's, no more F's. Quote, our hope is that students begin to see school as a place of learning, where they can take risks and learn from mistakes, instead of a place of compliance. Right now, we give 1,000,000 points for 1,000,000 pieces of paper that students turn in, without much attention to what they're actually learning. Now, I don't know about you, but I would imagine your experience is somewhat similar to mine. I have never seen school as a place of anything other than learning. If you are in freaking high school and the thought has not occurred to you before now that school is a place of learning, then you have failed these students since the very first day they set foot in the classroom. Now, a C, and Marty, help me out here. When I was in school, and yeah, it's been a while, I'll be the first to acknowledge it, but a C stood for average. A was exemplary, B was just below that, C was average. So let me get this straight. No one's going to be below average. Well, if that's the case, why even send them to school? Just give them a grade and be done with it. But check this out. Give them a job. It gets better. Yeah, better yet, give them a job. It gets even better. According to these education officials, we're trying to help students get into public colleges. And if there's a D or an F on the transcript, they may not be able to get in. Well, here's the thought. If they got a bunch of D's and F's running throughout their transcript, even if they manage to get into college, how are they going to stay there? Oh, wait, that's right. We need to do away with D's and F's in college too. I guess, wouldn't that be the natural progression? You know, there's this funny thing called life. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just totally missed it. But there is an expectation in the real world that you perform. You get a limited number of chances at your job to learn what you need to know to excel at the job. If not, you're out of here. So I guess sometime in the future, it's going to be that, well, you can't fire me for just doing an average job because, after all, that's the lowest grade you can give me. No, California. That's not re-engaging students. That's stupid. Secondly, just when you thought, Clarence, you can't find anything more stupid than that, oh, just keep listening. USA Today surprise, surprise, speaking of life in liberal land, publishing an op-ed this week, congratulating and saying what a great move it is for we go from one coast to the other coast. What a monumental idea it was to give non-citizens the right to vote in local elections. You heard me right. Well, this is, according to the op-ed writer, this is steeped in American tradition and ideals. So let me get this straight. You're not a citizen, but you get to vote and make decisions for citizens, even though you're not a citizen. Now, call me conspiracy theorist if you want, but a lot of folk are of the opinion New York is the first one to do this. It won't be long before other Democrat-led cities start pushing to do the same thing. I mean, after all, we have so far this year, close to 2 million people have come across our borders illegally, shipped out to God knows what communities across America. And what better way to stack the deck than to allow these folks here illegally to vote? There's an old saying, y'all. Evil never sleeps. Never ever do you hear agenda-driven individuals looking to usurp your rights and your freedoms. You never hear them say, "Oh man, I'm tired, I think I'm gonna turn in." And here's proof positive. Giving folks with absolutely no right whatsoever to be in this country the right to vote. And if you let the Dems tell you, it's those evil conservatives that want to nullify your vote. If you're one of those people that espouses that sentiment, like those who have proposed this legislation and those that voted for this legislation, just like them, you, my friend, are stupid. Just an observation. Bottom of the hour break. The news didn't break last week until after we'd left the air. And the left, oh my God, they have got to be just losing their ever-loving minds. If it weren't bad enough that a jury saw, clear as all get out, that Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong, only did what we are given a God-given right to do, defend himself. Now we find out Jussie Smollett guilty, 5 of 6 counts. Of course, we pretty much knew that. White people, this is where it pays to have black friends. If you had had black friends and you would ask them before the jury went into deliberation, Jussie, what's his name, Jussie, whatever y'all call it, did he stage this? black folk could have hipped you real early in the game. If you had some black friends, they would have told you, this fool lying. And the jury, obviously, felt the same. But it doesn't stop there. We'll continue that conversation next on today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
You've waited, and now Toyotathon is here at Team Toyota. Every new Toyota's on sale with end-of-year savings. And with our Buy Here, Sell Here program, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade. The selection and savings are right here for you at Team Toyota, I-12 and O'Neill.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, in recent memory, the left and the media, yeah, I know it's redundant, but you understand the sentiment, have shown to us in no uncertain terms just how out of touch with reality and everyday Americans they actually are. When the Jussie Smollett story first came to light, I don't know how many black friends you have, but there was a consensus among everyday black folk that nah, bruh, it didn't happen like that. Juicy lying to y'all. Of course, that didn't stop the media from taking the story and running full speed ahead. Every morning, noon, night newscast. Juicy, 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 juicy. Justice for Juicy. The whole nine. Ray Charles could have seen this one coming, y'all. Ray Charles could see this one coming. Now, Not that he does, and not that he will develop anytime soon. But if there was any decency to this guy, he would launch across America the Juicy Apology Tour. There are so many people that this guy needs to apologize to. I may not have enough time left in today's show to cover all of it. But number one, the African American community. This guy denigrated real hate crimes. This guy put the African American community in this country in the unenviable position of having to decide on whether or not to support an obvious liar or somebody who looks like they do. This guy also owes a huge apology to the LGBTQ plus MNOP, whatever the heck they are today, community, for his lies, not only in telling the story, but then getting up on the witness stand and lying to the jury. He also owes an apology. Of course, now, let me interrupt this litany for just a second. Just because he should doesn't mean he will, nor will he. But Jussie Smollett owes a huge apology, not only to the African American community, the LGBTQ plus whatever else they are today community, but to the Chicago PD for the $130,000 worth of effort and resources put forth on chasing a lie. And God knows, in Chicago, with all the crime, with all them folk getting murdered in Chicago, if ever there's a city in America that needs the resources there to be used to help real victims of crime, it's Chicago. And of course, there's an apology that should go, not that it will ever happen, to at least half of America. Because of course, the media took the story, oh, they were wearing MAGA hats. And of course, they went out and demonized half of America. Conservatives. Mostly white people, and the rest of us black conservatives. You lied to our faces, along with collusion from the media and the left. Finally, this clown owes an apology to the entire United States of America. Do you have any idea how much damage this, oh, I wish this wasn't a family show so I could tell you what I really think about this fool? Do you have any idea how much damage Jussie Smollett did to race relations in this country? Do you have any idea how far he set us back? Now, while we're talking about apologies, again, just like old Juicy, you're not going to get one. But we're also owed apologies from the left / Democrats / progressives. And we're also owed apologies from the people in power that pushed this crap. Remember Robin Roberts ABC News. I rewatched that interview with old Juicy last night. And to sit there and watch this woman's reaction tells you everything you need to know. I mean, she's sitting there like, oh, wow. Oh, that was so horrible. And how did you, I mean, she's just all in this whole fake ordeal. Of course, now, she wasn't the only one. LSD, off the cliff. CNN, LOL, off the cliff. ABC, NBC, CBS. And for those of you who are wondering, why does he pause when he says CBS? Because if you watch their news, it doesn't take long before you see it's all BS. So I no longer call them CBS. They're CBS. But let's go a little further, shall we? When the story broke, Joe Biden tweeting, quote, "What happened today to Justice Smollett must never be tolerated in this country. We must stand up and demand that we no longer give this hate safe harbor, that homophobia and racism have no place on our streets or in our hearts. We're with you, Jussie." Kamala Harris tweeting, "Jussie Smollett is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. And his attack was a, wait for it, modern day lynching." Senator Cory Booker, quote, "This attack was an attempted modern day lynching and suggested that the incident was proof positive that Congress needs to pass a, quote, anti-lynching bill, quote. To those in Congress who don't feel the urgency to pass our anti-lynching bill, designating lynching as a federal hate crime, I urge you to pay attention." Senator Bernie Sanders, quote, "The racist and homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is a horrific instance of the surging hostility toward minorities around the country. We must come together to eradicate all forms of bigotry and violence." Representative Eric Swalwell, Congressman, "What happened to Jussie Smollett is vile and tragic. But hate crimes like this are happening more frequently, egged on by careless, hate-filled rhetoric. We start reducing these crimes by rejecting the speech. Neither can it ever be accepted as normal." Senator Elizabeth Warren, quote, "Racism, homophobia, and all forms of bigotry and hate have no place in this country. The fight for equality isn't over. No one should have to live in fear of being beaten on the street because of who they are." And the list goes on and on and on. Here's what you need to ask yourself, those of you that still vote leaning left on TV. It looks like I'm leaning right because it's the exact opposite, but I know what I'm doing. For those of you that still worship at the altar of the mainstream media, here's what you need to ask yourself. If I saw this was a lie from 40 miles away, how is it that the media and the left, all the way up to the freaking White House, how is it that they didn't? It's not that they didn't see it. It's all a part of the agenda. See, with the left, particularly, and my apologies to the fine gentleman at the bar right now enjoying what looks like it may be pulled pork or brisket sandwich, white liberals, y'all need to get over it. See, they have spent all this time telling you, anybody that will listen, they've spent all this time telling you white supremacy is the greatest threat to the entire republic. So when they can't find any real examples, what do? They make some up. No, say it ain't so. They certainly wouldn't lie to us, would they? If you got sucked in by these clowns and you thought, well, there's no way the guy would lie to us about something like this, you're a bigger fool than they play you for. You are exactly the kind of low information American they love. You saw it 40 miles away. But the people, media / Democrats that know what's best for everybody and everything, don't you dare question me, no matter what, every one of them missed it. Even though regular, real Americans saw it right up front for what it was. And yet, some of you clowns are going to still watch CNN tonight. And yet, some of y'all, when you get home, your remote is already programmed for MSLSD. Some of y'all, even worse, are still going to vote left. Guess there's something to be said for low expectations, huh? Just saying. Just saying. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Buggs Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
The Post on Church Point Road in Gonzales would like to invite everyone to their newly renovated events hall, a beautiful 9,600 square foot facility that features a 5,500 square foot main hall and a separate 600 square foot conference room. Renters have access to our huge kitchen, large stage, tables, chairs, bar, and covered outdoor cooking. So plan your next wedding, party, conference, and more at The Post on Church Point Road, Gonzales.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, as a Louisianian and proudly a Southern boy, having spent so many years of my life in the South, I have a unique appreciation, not that others don't, but we do in Louisiana, for the devastation that Mother Nature can visit upon any of us at any time. If your hearts have not been saddened, close to being ripped out of your chest as you view the devastation from those horrific tornadoes recently, you need to go back and check your birth certificate because you're not from here. People that go through hurricane season every year have almost an inbred ability to empathize with others that go through the same thing, particularly when you think about our fellow South Louisianians in Lake Charles and what they went through recently, and of course all the other unfortunate victims of Ida and the other storms as of late. And typically, we as Louisianians, when we see this sort of thing, we react. For example, Cajun Navy. There was a need, Katrina, and we decided that, you know what, screw this, we can help our own and we don't have to wait. And they've been up and running ever since. Now, combine our natural humanity and our empathy for others that go through what any of us may find ourselves going through on any given year, hurricane season. Add to that the fact that it's the holidays. And as a group of people, a society that cherishes the holidays and what they stand for, it's a natural reaction to want to give. It's what we do because we understand full well, living in Hurricane Alley, on any given day, there but by the grace of God go any one of us. The people we see standing there shell-shocked in Kentucky because their entire city has been wiped out. We naturally, because of the mere fact that next year might be my time, we automatically give to help because we hope that when it comes back around, whenever that is, to whatever degree it is, others will help us. Sadly, times like these bring out the best in humanity and the worst in humanity. Listen, I get it, y'all. I find it as despicable as you that anybody that considers themselves human would use this as an opportunity to scam people out of their hard-earned money. But the fact of the matter is, it's a reality. And we don't want you to end up being victimized. Our friends over at the Better Business Bureau have sent out a list of things that you want to consider before you just start writing checks or making donations without doing your due diligence. For example, instead of clicking on a link that someone sends to you, if you say to yourself, this seems like a worthy organization, I'd like to help, don't do it through the link. Make the donation directly to the organization through their website. You follow me? Only in an emergency situation should you think otherwise. Also, to help locate available shelters and other assistance, go to folks like the Salvation Army, the American Red Cross. Donate to a food bank. With the food bank, you might find yourself saying, well, Clarence, I don't know if I give money to the food bank, I don't know exactly where the money's going to end up. Rest assured, y'all, with a food bank, they typically, for every dollar that you spend, they can get 10 to 15 times more done with that single dollar than you or I can. Go to the Better Business website. They'll have a whole litany of things that you can use to protect yourself and make sure that the money you are donating goes where it's needed the most. These folks are going to be dealing with this for a mighty, mighty, mighty long time, y'all. I mean, the scenes of devastation defy the imagination. And this is coming from a guy who remembers Camille, Katrina, Ida, I mean, all of them. I wasn't quite here for Betsy, but in talking with older members of the community, I remember, even back my late mother's name, Hurricane Hazel. It's hard for me as a guy every single year for 41 years had to gear up for hurricane season. Because when y'all push the button on the radio, you expect there to be some calm, level-headed, informative guy on the other end of that radio giving you the information that you need. But for me, it's tough, y'all. It's tough. So even if you cannot, for whatever reason, make a donation, if you're a member of the community of faith, guys, girls, please be so kind as to keep those good people in your thoughts and in your prayers. My time's up, y'all, and I got to go. But this day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I do too. The good news is there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. See you tomorrow. Appreciate you, Mark.